Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and I thought, let's see what is winning over in Japan right now. Japan does have a pretty similar metagame to us, but it's been a while since I've looked at Japan's metagame, so I thought, why not look at what decks and cards are winning in Japan right now. I thought it'd be a cool idea for a video here, since it has been a minute since we've looked at Japan's metagame. I don't think they have that many Prismatic Evolution cards yet, if any at all. So I think eventually we'll probably do a video where we do a look at Prismatic Evolution decks from Japan. But for now, we're just going to look at their metagame, see what decks are winning. Again, similar metagame to us, but still, I'll be interested to see what they got going on and what decks and archetypes they've been playing and what cards have been winning. Because Japan also likes to innovate, I think, with some of their decks. I wanted to take a look, since it has been a minute since we've looked over at Japan's metagame. I'll leave a link to a Limbless down below if you want to go check out the city leagues for yourself, which is what we are going to be using to look at in today's video. And if you're new here to the second channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 19,000 subscribers. And if you go on to enjoy the video, leave a like. So we're not going to go through like every tournament. There are quite a few, but we'll look at the most recent ones here we got on this page. So first one we do have here, it looks like a Gholdengo deck did win this tournament. Now Gholdengo with Togekiss, and it is also playing Energy Search Pro. I guess like the one big thing in the deck is that Thornton. It's actually pretty similar to the list we saw at Sacramento, and it was able to win at the City League over an Archaldon in the finals, and it is an Archaldon Starmie deck here with the Scoop Up Cyclone. I know that a few players in Japan were really hyping up the idea of playing Starmie and Archaldon. This build does play the Scoop Up Cyclone. It's got the Judge in the deck. It's got Turo. It even plays a Canceling Cologne in the deck to help a little against the Pikachu and whatnot and stuff. And then we got a Snorlax here in the top four. Good old Snorlax. Still doing good in Japan, too. I mean, it is Snorlax. Keep in mind, though, Japan is best of one, which does have an impact as to like what actually can do good there. We do see the Snorlax built here with the Hero's Cape in the deck as the A-Spec, and is playing the Rotom. And then we got a Lost Box in top four. Japan does like Lost Box too. It is interesting because, I mean, looking at this tournament, there's not a whole lot of Regidrago compared to like what we'll probably see a bit lower into this video on some of the other tournaments. We see this Lost Box build. It's just Pikachu and Fez. There's no Bear, and there's no Iron Hands. In fact, the supporter of choice is the Briar. No Boss or Roxanne playing Briar. Briar's not a bad idea. With Pikachu, obviously, you can do a few cool things with Briar. Pikachu, maybe that can be like a way to like checkmate your opponent. It's very interesting Lost Box list here, actually. We got Dragapult Dusknoir in the top 8, too. The classic. Pretty solid list here. No Tatsugiri, but it's playing double Rotom. No Pidgeot or anything, just has the Dusknoirs. There's a Lugia in top 8. Lugia is definitely an interesting deck. I guess there is one new card in here. There is a new Minccino here, which I guess it came out in the starter deck Generations thing. Okay, so this card I think is going to be coming out in Prismatic Evolutions, but I guess there's one kind of new card that Japan is using. That's this Minccino. Is it optimal, though? I guess it does 1 for 20, and the 20 damage kind of can matter in some situations. It is playing the Call for Family one, has Flutter Mane. I think Lugia is actually decent right now. It actually had a bit of a resurgence in the late nights, so maybe we'll see Lugia pick up popularity going into the next week, because we're going to probably do an online tourney video very soon. We got a Tropicos Noctowl in the top 8 here, too. Yeah, no Boufflant or anything in this build, no Manaphy. And then there's another Gholdengo in top 8 with the Togekiss here. It is playing the double Togekiss as opposed to the 1/1 line. Plays Thornton still and has a Roxanne. Only 2 Cypher Maniac, so a little bit lower on the Cypher Maniac count. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Gholdengo's pretty cool. And outside the top 8, we got like a Dragapult Xatu here. Another interesting deck playing double Klefki. I mean, any deck that can play Klefki right now, I feel like actually isn't too bad. So that doesn't seem terrible at all. The next tournament here, we did see Regidrago win the tournament. It's a pretty standard Regidrago list, kind of the old version, actually. No Exeggutor in the deck, no Haxorus or Goodra, just playing Dragapult, Tina, Kyurem. Does have Hawlucha in the deck, alongside Jamming Tower and Temple Sinnoh. So, yeah, a bit more of an old school version. And I guess it mattered because they did play against Cloth in the finals here. Yeah, Cloth continuing to reign right now. This build does play 1 copy of Jet Energy, which is kind of like the big difference. There's another, actually, there's another supporter in the deck. We do see it does play that new Black Belt's Training, which basically allows your Pokemon to do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX, which can actually fix the math for Cloth and Terapagos in some situations to hit higher numbers. So yeah, not only do you have the poison damage with Binding Mochi, but now you have Black Belt's Training in the Cloth deck too. Seems actually kind of good, actually. So that's kind of cool. So I guess there's another new card here from the starter decks in this list. So I guess we got to keep our eye out for more starter deck cards. There's not that many of them, but I guess Black Belt was technically one of them. We got a Miraidon here in top 4. Pretty standard Miraidon list. Does play 1 Iono as opposed to 4 Arven, but yeah. Cool. And then we got another Lugia here in top 4, playing 3 of the new Minccino. Yeah, I guess this is going to be the optimal Minccino potentially over the other one that discards tools, because being able to do 1 for 20 in some situations can fix the math. If you just poke for 20 damage, and then you can like sometimes finish them off later on with Lugia or even Blood Moon or Hands. I guess that is relevant. Yeah, I guess the optimal Minccino is here, folks. We have reached optimal Minccino peak. It does play 3/3 line, has Fez, plays Thornton too, which is interesting. Another Tropicos Noctowl deck here. Nothing really new or crazy in this build. No Boufflant, it looks like. We got another Lugia deck. Once again, playing the triple baby Minccino from the starter decks. Does have weirder in the deck. Pretty similar to the other build we just looked at, actually. We have a Gardevoir here in top 8, too. The old version with the reset, or unfair stamp, sorry, and does have Klefki. Double Manaphy is interesting. Really not trying to have the board get wiped by Kyurem. Double Manaphy is definitely interesting. And then the top 8, we also had a United Wings deck. Yo, you love to see it. Actually, yeah, United Wings with a Black Belts. That's cool. Also plays a Pekron in the deck, which I guess is kind of cool. I guess you don't have to lose to Snorlax. Technically, you can beat Snorlax with Murkrow if you have Baby Peck. I mean, that's kind of interesting, actually. Or Pekron EX. Yeah, maybe if you want to not lose to Snorlax, play the Pekron in your deck. That's kind of funny. There's no... is there Binding Mochi? There's no Binding Mochi. No. Interesting. I've seen some ideas of, like, Pekron EX with Murkrow with Binding Mochi. So you can poison your Murkrow and then Binding Mochi for more damage. It does have Brilliant Blender, obviously, and yeah, does have that new Black Belt in the deck for more damage so that you can hit higher numbers. I kind of like it. That's cool. It got top 8, so actually didn't do too bad in the tournament. The next one here was also won by Regidrago. Basically the same 60 as the other one. Okay, wow. And then we got another Snorlax here. It's got the Hero's Cape, double Mimikyu, double Cornerstone. Yeah, Snorlax shenanigans. Then we have a Walls deck here in top 4. So a lot of these like control-style lock decks are getting a bit more popular right now overall. Like we have Pidgey Control, we have Snorlax. Now we have these like Noivern, Milotic, Mimikyu, Ogerpon style of decks. And this one got top 4. Got Hero's Cape as the Apex, playing Devo. It's only playing Noivern, Cornerstone, Ogerpon, and Mimikyu as the walls, so no other like crazy walls, but still kind of annoying to play against. Then we got another Gholdengo here. So Gholdengo with a Dusknoir. I like the Dusknoir idea. I have been looking into like playing Dusknoir and Gholdengo. I don't know if I like it yet. I don't know if it's better than double Togekiss, because you do have to give up a prize card, which sometimes can offset the prize trade, but I like it still. You know, it's a cool concept to play the double stage 2 in the deck. We got a Charizard in top 8. This one plays Prime Catcher in the deck as the A-Spec. Also playing a Roxanne too, and a Mist Energy. And then we got a Shampoo in top 8 here in this one. And in this City League, it did play an Arctibax in the deck, the Stage 1 line for Baxcalibur, which is quite interesting. Plays the 2/2 Bibs, got Fez, Iron Hands. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Shampoo's still like not the worst deck right now in the format. We got another Zard here. Yeah, this one's a bit more of a standard Zard 60. And then we got another Regidrago. This one does play the Guja, but no Exeggutor or anything like that. Just plain the Guja. All right, cool, cool. You go to this next one here. Next City League was won by a Roaring Moon. It is the Roaring Moon with the Koraidon in the deck, the new Koraidon. No Baby Peck. Just play Latias, got the Koraidon, the 2 Baby Moons. Just a pretty standard, like, ancient beat stick deck. I like it. Seems good. I like Turbo Moon right now. It doesn't seem bad. Was able to beat Dragapult in the finals, which is interesting. Considering, I guess you can Frenzy Gouge the Dragapult. I mean, you could also just draw Poorling and Donked, obviously. Again, one of the benefits of playing these Turbo decks in Japan's format is that Japan is like all best of one, right? So sometimes you can just win games because you just cheese out a dub because your opponent bricks. And then we got another Dragapult here. This one does have the 1/1 Noctowl. It's kind of what we've been seeing from like Brent Tonneson and all of them over here. We got another Cloth Terapagos. Pretty standard list here. Nothing too crazy there. We got another Lugia here. Yo, this one doesn't have the optimal Minccino in the deck. This one does play the other Minccino that does the 10 damage and then discards the tool card. Pretty funny. Yeah, nice little Lugia list here. It's got the hands, Carmine, Squawkabilly. Cool, cool. Then we got another Dragapult Dusknoir, it looks like. This one does play TM Devo in the deck, but no Pidgeot or anything, no Taskiri. Does have a Manaphy to protect him against Ben Sniping, which I kind of like too. Yeah, pretty cool. More Dragapult stuff. We got a Sarah Legend top 8 with the Fan Rotom Legacy Energy. No Palkia in this build. But yeah, the Fan Rotom's not bad. The Fan Rotom does help against Mimikyu, obviously. And you can also use it to take the first knockout of the game without putting a 2-prizer in the active spot, which is the benefit of playing Fan Rotom. So I still like the idea of Fan Rotom in the deck. And then finally, we got another Snorlax in top 8. The classic, just normal Snorlax stuff. I guess one thing to note here in this top 8, or in this tournament, we do see an interesting Blaziken Slacking deck. So out of all the new like starter deck Pokemon, Blaziken is arguably the best one because a lot of them are just like really filler cards. But this new Blaziken does have a home. It does have that ability, Boiling Fighting Spirit. Once you're in turn, you may attach a basic energy from a discard pile to one of your Pokemon. There's actually a lot of things you can do with this Blaziken. So eventually, when I do a video where we look at prismatic evolution decks from Japan, we're probably going to look at some Blaziken archetypes. We might see a couple more Blaziken decks in this video if we're lucky. This Blaziken list is playing Slacking and Terapagos, so kind of like a colorless box deck. You can even technically attack with Radiant Greninja, which is kind of cool. So just play double water. You can build up Crown Opal on Terapagos. You can use it to power up Slacking to do 280 damage every turn. And you have Greninja, which you do have the double water. It is theoretically possible. So there is definitely some cool things you can do with Blaziken EX. It is a stage 2, which is the downside, but you can consistently get the Blazikens out. I mean, the Noctowl engine can get you there. You can easily attack with like any like attacker you choose. Once you set up the Blazikens, and you can attach energy every turn. So that's cool. Maybe we'll see more Blaziken in the future here in this video. We'll have to see, though. That is cool that we saw a Blaziken deck, though. All right, this tournament here is won by Charizard with Prime Catcher, also playing Jamming Tower in the deck, so a bit more teched out. A couple of Regidragos here. This one's got the Exeggutor in the deck, and the Guja, and then another Exeggutor in top 4, or Regidrago in top 4. This one's got a Magma Basin in the deck. That's kind of interesting as a way to build up your Radiant Charizard a bit easier. Huh. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. Magma Basin in Regidrago is interesting for sure. We got another Miraidon here. It's playing Prime Catcher as you expect. No Secret Box. Just has Arven and Boss in the deck too. And then interesting enough, in the top 8, there's a Frostlass Uxie Azelf deck, kind of like a Frostlass toolbox deck. There's no Mesprit in the deck. It does have Monkey Dory. It's got the Uxie, got the Azelf for that extra damage. And then it's playing a 1 of Snorlax, which is kind of funny. I mean, a best of 1, if your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with Snorlax, sometimes you can just randomly win the game with the Snorlax on the spot. It did get all the way to top 8. It actually didn't do bad. It's got Fez and Bear in the deck, too, for some extra assistance. Yeah, interesting. This is a cool Frostlass deck here, really utilizing, like, Azelf and stuff. Because Azelf is pretty good with Frostlass and Uxie. Because when I did the Lake Show video last week, I was considering playing with Frostlass, but I wanted to mix it up. But I like it. It's cool. It got top 8. A lot of Regidrago in the top 8 here, though. We got another Drago here in top 8. We got a Gardevoir in top 8 here, playing the Unfair Stamp. Got Devo, kind of the old build of it. And then there's a Lugia within the top 8 here with the 2 Minchinos. No new Minchino. I'm sure it came out by then, right? Is a Slacking deck here in top 8 playing it? No Blaziken in this Slacking deck. Just playing the Pidgeot stuff. Okay, cool. There's another Gholdengo here with Palkia with double Tatsugiri is interesting. Playing, Precious Trolley, actually, to set you up. That's also kind of cool. The innovations are real. All right, this tournament was won by Turbo Moon with a 1/1 Darkrai V-Star. I don't mind it. Does play a couple catchers, too, so you can really reuse a lot of your powerful items. It does have that new Koraidon in the deck. And then we got another Charizard deck. But this time it's Charizard Terapagos, a deck that I kind of feel like is really underrated. I'm surprised like it's not seeing more play. Is it better than the normal Charizard build? Maybe, maybe not. The problem with the old Charizard build is sometimes you just kind of, lose to just board wipes. Where this build kind of has a little bit more groundswell, and you don't have to rely on 2 prizers as much because you have Noctowl in the deck. You have to use Terapagos, obviously, but Terapagos is a lot more reliable to be in play than, like, Rotom is half the time, you know what I mean? Then we got another Charizard in top 4. It's playing the promo Charmander. It's got the Unfair Stamp, got a Vacuum in there. All right, we got Drago in top 4 here. No Exeggutors or anything crazy in that. Another Charizard with an Entei and a Maxim Belt and a Basin and a Judge and a Roxanne. Okay, a lot more tech cards going on here. Even playing the split Charmeleon and Charmander line, so a little bit more of a teched-out Charizard. And playing Gen Energy, too. Wow, okay. It's a very teched-out Charizard list. We got a Guardy here in top 8. It's got the Tatsugiri and the Unfair Stamp. Another Drago in top 8 here with the Haluchin stuff. Nothing too crazy. All right, so that's interesting. All right, this tournament was won by Archaldon Dialga. Let's go. So we see the Archaldon here with the Dialga playing the Scoop Up Cyclone and Thornton and Jamming Tower in the deck. Yeah, I like it. I mean, this deck seems good, right? It was getting day 2 in Stuttgart and Sacramento. It was able to beat Regidrago in the finals, which is kind of cool. Some more, standard Drago list, no, like, Gujar, Exeggutor. Zard was in top 4 with a, okay, wow, a Wellspring Ogerpon and a Sparkling Crystal. So, very interesting concept. I guess you can, like, Saw Block your opponent as an alternate win con. And you can also use Torrential Pump with Double Turbo and Sparkling Crystal, which is a combo that's actually kind of broken. Yeah, very interesting. Not sure how often you're pulling it off. It's kind of... Is that better than Delphox, actually? Because, like, the problem with Delphox, you have to build it out with Charizard, right? It is cool, but you have to power it up with Charizard, and then you have to discard the energy, where Wellspring Ogerpon technically doesn't have to do that. But it means you have to play Crystal in the deck over any other aspect. But you can Crystal with Charizard, which helps into Teal Mask Ogerpon, because you only need 1 energy. That's a very interesting idea, actually. Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's a very cool concept. See the Dragapult Thorns deck here in top 4. This one's got the Farigiraf in the deck. No Toedscruel, but yeah, it's playing 3 Thorns too as opposed to 4. We got another Tropicos Cloth deck here. And then Charizard in top 8 with the Precious Trolley, with the Mist Energy Precious Trolley, I guess. Yeah, cool. Let's see. Then we got another Cloth deck here. And then Raging Bolt in top 8. Yeah, Raging Bolt is good in best of 1. We see another Raging Bolt. Just 1 Bravery Charm, though. It's got the Slither Wing, got Briar and Iono in the deck, so a bit more of a teched out deck. We see a Palkia Greninja Dusknoir deck here, also in the top 16 of this tournament. Kind of cool. This tournament was won by Lost Tina of all decks. That's interesting. A very interesting Lost Tina list, playing an Iron Thorns EX in the deck, so having a little bit of extra protection versus Lugia and having that ability lock Lightning Attacker can be kind of cool. So that's not a bad idea. I don't think Tina's like a terrible deck. If anything, like, of all the Lost Zone decks, this one would probably have the best matchup into Regidrago, if I had to be honest with you. Like, Turbo Lost Box with Pikachu's not bad in Drago, because you have Pikachu now, but they still have Cologne and stuff. Whereas Tina kind of can trade evenly into Drago sometimes. And then, of course, that Iron Thorns could also be good in that matchup. Like, if any Lost Zone deck is going to maybe beat... if any Lost Zone deck is maybe going to beat Drago, I mean, Tina's probably got the best chance. I like the idea of the Iron Thorns. Just having a Lightning Attacker is cool. Actually was able to beat Drago in the finals, so kind of my theory is right there. There's a Drago in top 4, too, with a Haxorus and a Gudra. And we have another Lost Tina deck here in top 4. So 2 Lost Tinas in top 4. Kind of crazy to see. This one does not play the Iron Thorns, however. Just kind of a more classic build, playing Bear, Fez, and stuff. Cool. And we had a Lugia in top 8 with the double Minccino. There we go. See, it's got the new Minccino in the deck. And then, ooh, a Gholdengo with Toedscruel. Okay, so I have thought of this idea before. I've thought, ever since we saw the Dragapult Iron Thorns deck get top 8, I actually was thinking about playing Toedscruel with Gholdengo. I think it's a cool concept. My issue with it, though, is that your Toedscruels get knocked out very easily, so you can obviously lose pretty easily to, like, a Phantom Dive, which is not very good. But there is some cool things you can do with it, because if you can set up the Toedscruel against Regidrago before they board wipe you, theoretically, you do have the ability to block Legacy Star. It's really good in Mirror Match, obviously, too, which is nice. Like, I kind of like the idea of Toedscruel in Gholdengo. Since Gholdengo's very, like, straightforward, you can fit it in the deck. Again, the problem is actually getting it out quick enough. I feel like if you're going to play the Toedscruel, it's better to play with TM Evo, because then you don't lose to Phantom Dive. Literally, if you go second against Regidrago, there's no point of even putting the Toedscruel in play, right? It's the sad reality of it. It's good in Mirror, though. You've got the new Toedscruel, so another starter deck card with the Forest Passage ability. As long as Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 2 colorless less. Really only relevant with the Gholdengo and Toedscruel, because Gholdengo's got a true retreat, and actually what you can do is you can promote Gholdengo, draw 2 cards, retreat into another Gholdengo with the Toedscruel's ability, and in effect, draw 2 more cards. So there's actually some cool things you can do with the Toedscruel package. Really cool list there. I like it. Got top 8, so got 6th place. We see another Tropicos Cloth deck here, playing the Genesect. We got a Guardian top 8. Wouldn't be a top 8 without a Gardevoir. Anything else spicy? Nothing too crazy. All right. We can move on to the next tournament here, which was won by good old Tropicos. No Bouffalant or anything. And then was able to beat a Lost Dragapult deck in the finals. I mean, it's a cool idea, right? You know, people hyping this deck up when Twilight came out. Never really did anything. It's kind of like just Sablezard with an extra bit of engine in it. Is it better into Regidrago, though, per se, because you are playing Dragapult? It also does play 2 Mana Fees, so it's trying to respect the Regidrago, so I don't know. There was a Drago in top 4, at least. And then there was another Dragapult here in top 4 also with the Dusknoir in the deck. Another Archaldon, Dialga in top 4. Cool deck. I guess it's like better in City Leagues, because City Leagues are kind of like bigger League Cups, basically. Another Tropicos Noctowl. Plays Mana Fee. Ooh, there's an Unfair Stamp in the deck. All right. We got another Cloth deck here. It's funny it says it's Cloth, or it's Tropicos Luminion, not Cloth Tropicos. And then we had Palkia Boom in top 8, also with a Minior, so not really trying to lose to Snorlax. Doesn't like there's really many Snorlax here. This is a Hydreigon deck. Cool. There's one in top 16. Like to see it. All right, this next tournament here is won by Regidrago with no Exeggutor. So I guess one thing to note about the Regidrago decks here in Japan this past little week, they have not been playing as much Exeggutor. There's been like 1 or 2 Exeggutor Drago lists we've seen. Considering I think that card is really good in the deck, so it's interesting to see. Was able to beat Thorns in the finals with one of Mew and an Unfair Stamp. Okay, interesting. The Mew is very interesting. I'm not sure how much value you get out of it. I guess like you can promote it for turn and then draw cards, but I don't know. You do play 2 penny, I guess, to pick it up, but it feels bad if you start with it. And we got Raging Bolt in top 4. No Lugia in top 4. With no Cinccino. Okay, interesting. It's got the Wellspring in there. It's got Radiant Charizard and Has Luminous Energy and a Counter Catcher and an Irida. Huh. A little bit more teched out. Another Regidrago here. Once again, not playing the Exeggutor, playing the Gudra, though. Then we got a Lost Box in top 8. Yeah, another Pikachu Lost Box deck with some extra attackers. Has the Thorns in the deck. Also playing the Terapagos EX in the deck with the Crown Opal. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Got another Drago here in top 8. Once again, no Exeggutor. Wow. Interesting. And then we got another Charizard deck with, like, Unfair Stamp, playing Mist Energy and DT in there. There's a Venomoth Frostlass in top 16. This is always a fun deck to play. Playing Salvatore is kind of cool. I wonder if you could play Call Bell, too, with Venomoth. Some applications you can do with Call Bell for sure. Kind of like the idea of that. All right, this tournament here was won by Charizard with nothing too crazy in that. Was able to be Guardian in the finals. Interesting to see. Considering the Guardian also plays Devo. Plays Cresselia, too. The Charizard in top 4. With an Eerie in the deck. Okay. I don't hate the idea of Eerie right now. It's better into, like, the item-heavy decks like Gholdengo and stuff. Yeah, I don't hate it. Maybe if you play Eerie, Hero Escape could be pretty good, too. And then we got another Terapagos here. Another Gardevoir. The Unfair Stamp, and more of a slower build. Another Charizard with Mist Energy in there. Look at that. We got a Charizard Bibarel in top 8. Okay, there's a throwback. Deciding not to play Pidgeot. I don't hate it. I mean, it's got the Precious Trolley in there to set up. Has the TM Evo. Playing 3 Jets, too, so really not trying to lose to Snorlax. Yeah, this is a very interesting Charizard list here. Even playing Dusknoir. I mean, Bibarel's not bad. The downside of Bibarel, though, is like you're more susceptible to like Phantom Dive spam as opposed to Pidgeot, where usually Pidgeot gets to stick around for quite a while. You force your opponent to like knock it out with like Giratina. So that's interesting that the Bibarel build got top 8. I don't think it's terrible at all. I don't think it's bad. Using Team Evil is good. We have another Charizard in top 8, so there's a lot of Charizard in the top 8 of this tournament. Outside the top 8, we did see a Conkeldurr deck, which is cool. And then Gholdengo outside top 8 too with the Togekiss Dusknoir stuff. Nice. All right, interesting stuff. This tournament here was won by Ancient Box with a Baby Pekron EX, sorry, and then has a Roaring Moon in the deck too. It was able to be Lost Box in the finals. This one also had a bit more text in it. We see the Terapagos and the Thorns playing Hassel Roxanne. No boss, just have Counter and Prime in the deck, however. Huh. Interesting. Surprised it lost. I mean, technically, well, I guess Terapagos, you could just get Frenzy Gouged. I don't know. I feel like Lost Box is usually favored against Roaring Moon. I guess Ancient Box is like a bad matchup. You can Crown Opal them, right? I don't know. Anyways, we see a Sarah Ledge deck here in top 4. No Palkia, nothing too crazy there. Another Regidrago in top 4. No Exeggutor still. Yeah, they just do not like Exeggutor, do they? We got a Raging Bolt here with Slitherwing and Sandy Shocks and Unfair Stam and Latias and Area 0. So a lot of text there. Another Raging Bolt in top 8. A bit more of the classic build. Got a Zard, once again. Mist Energy, DT, Unfair Stamp. The usual stuff, I guess. We got a Guardy, once again playing Unfair Stamp too. No Turbo Guardy, which is kind of interesting. The Lost Box Hydreigon here in top 16. All right, this deck's kind of crazy. I did see it, obviously, in the online tournament scene for a bit. Is it the best way to play Hydreigon? I don't think it is, but it is a cool concept because you do get to lean more into Obsidian's power with the help of Sableye and stuff, which is kind of nice. And Mirage Gate to build it up, obviously. Then we saw a Sinestro deck here. That's cool. I like it. Nice. Like to see that deck do well every now and then. This tournament was also won by Archaldon and Dialga, all playing the Scoop Up Cyclone. All the lists kind of are the same, right? Yeah. No Relicanth, though, I guess. That's like the one omission. Was able to beat Togekiss in the finals, or Gholdengo with Togekiss. That's probably a close matchup. Yeah, I guess like if you start Chronos M turn 2 and they can't really set up, it's like kind of over. You can also one-shot Gholdengo a bit easily. Then we have a very interesting Palkia Terapagos list here with a one of Monkey Dory for some extra damage and some healing. That's an interesting concept for sure. Huh. Yeah, I don't hate that, actually. A Monkey Dory and Terapagos seems kind of interesting. Also playing a Gengar to try to get an extra bench space, which is kind of cool, too. Huh. That's an interesting list, also. I told you Japan likes to cook. And then we got another Regidrago, once again with no Exeggutor. We got a Raging Bolt here with a Canson Clone in the deck. No Bravery Charm. We got a Sarah Lich Palkia here. So there we go. We got some Sarah Lich Palkia action. Yeah, because the other Sarah Lich decks we looked at didn't have the Palkia in them. Another Raging Bolt here. We got another Snorlax with the Hero Escape Mist Energy. There's a Greninja Pidgeot deck here. Whoa, hold up. It's a Greninja Pidgeot top 16 with a Entei and a Raikou V in the deck. A lot of text, actually. I guess it's kind of more like a toolbox attacking deck, playing base and counter gain. That's a very interesting pile. I guess you can check a lot of weaknesses. I guess that's just kind of what it is, more of like a weakness box deck. Maybe that's the way you approach it. This tournament was won by Ancient Box with the 2 moons. Was able to beat Charizard, Terapagos in the finals. Surprised to see that. This matchup seems kind of bad. I guess you have the double Moon EX, which maybe helps, right? They don't play Dusclops. Playing Dusknoir, actually. Has the Entei V in the deck, too. And then we got another Charizard. Pretty normal list there. Another Ancient Box here. Playing the Great Tusk. Does play a Mini or two and a Monkey Dory, so a couple of extra tech cards in there. Monkey Dory is also kind of interesting in Ancient Box for more damage. And we got another Palkia Trapagos deck here. Does have Bibarel in there. Also playing Hisuian Basculin to set up your board a little bit. That's kind of cool. Yeah, nice. Cool stuff. And then we got a Lost Box deck here. This one is not playing Pikachu. It's actually playing Hands, Thorns, and Bear. So kind of like what we saw at NEIC. Huh. Yeah, no Pikachu's interesting, too. I guess sometimes you don't need it. And then we got another Snorlax. The usual stuff. Then we got another Cloth. All right. Anything else? A lot of Charizard. Lost Box, anything cool? Yeah, just another Pikachu Trapagos deck. Okay. All right. Move on to the next tournament here, which was won by Charizard, once again, with a Prime Catcher. And then it was able to beat Gholdengo in the finals, and the Gholdengo deck played Dusknoir Tokus. I mean, it's a close matchup. Like, Iono Spam plus Radzard can be tough for Gholdengo to deal with. And we saw a Dragapult Dusknoir in top 4. Another Regidrago. Play no eggs, but got the goo in the deck. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Another Gholdengo in top 4, or top 8, with Dusknoir. No Togekiss, actually. Another Dragapult Dusknoir here with a 1-1 Pidgeot. So still trying to get value out of the Pidgeot there to set up. Then we got another Guardy, playing Unfair Stamp and stuff. And another Zar in top 8 with Bibarel in Unfair Stamp and Mist Energy. And I had Basin too. What else do we got here? Nothing too crazy. All right. Move on to the next tournament here, which was won by Gardevoir. Actually ended up beating the Cloth in the finals. I mean, it's kind of a bad matchup because you just have to put so many 2 prizes on the board. It can be winnable, though. But I guess assuming the person knew they were playing against Cloth, they didn't just, like, blindly open Ralts and get, like, KO'd by Peck. I guess also opening the Klefki can be pretty... Oh, there's no Klefki in the Gardevoir deck. Interesting. And I was going to say, Klefki's pretty good, too, in that matchup. We got Zatu, Dragapult in top 4. Cool. And then we got another Charizard here in top 4 with a Prime Catcher, the usual stuff. Another Raging Bolt here, playing Latias, got Slitherwing in there. Had Briar too, another Regidrago. Yeah, no eggs at all. Japan does not believe in the Executor. It's crazy. Another Gardevoir with no Klefki in it. We got another Drago here with the Noctowl. All right, that was that top 8. There's a Hydreigon deck in top 16 here. Usual stuff you see, though. It's got this Erosic and the Eerie in there for some disruption. And what is this? A Gardevoir Dragapult deck. Hold the phone. That is very interesting, and that's cooking. Isn't there a Dreepy that you can build up with Gardevoir? I'm pretty sure there is. There a Psychic Dreepy? I think there's a Psychic Dreepy in the format. So theoretically, you could play Psychic Dreepy, and then you can Psychic Embrace to it. Yeah, I don't know. That's a crazy list. I guess there's no rare candy in this build. Just trying to utilize TM Evo. Yeah, that is a crazy idea. Monkey Dory's in the deck. Wow. Okay, you got the Screamtail. Screamtail is synergized nicely with Dragapult, I guess. There's no Drifloon or anything, no Klefki. That's a crazy idea. Gardevoir Dragapult is wild. Like, I mean, got top 16, actually didn't do bad in the tournament. That's kind of interesting, actually. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff. All right. We got Charizard winning here with the Mist Energy. Got another Dragapult, Dusknoir in the finals with the 1-1 Pidgeot. Another Charizard playing Prime Catcher. We got another Lost Box here. Ooh, okay. Yo, Lost Box, Zam, Kyurem. Also playing Devo and has Neutralization Zone in the deck as the ace-spec of choice. Yeah, I thought about Kyurem and Lost Box before, too. Obviously, it's good in Mirror, but it can also be really good with Mirage Gate in general. You can actually build it up with double Mirage Gate. You have to attach to Kyurem, and then you double gate a Metal and a Water Energy onto it. Also playing Zam. Zam's still not like a terrible Lost Box attacker. I mean, it's seen success in Lost Box before. Yeah, very cool stuff. Innovative, for sure. I like it. Another Palkia Trapagos deck. This one's a little bit more simplistic. Does have the 1-1 Bibarel in there, though. Then we got another Lost Box. There's Lost Box Pikachu with... Yo, there it is, that Wo-Chien. Cool stuff. So I've thought about playing Wo-Chien too. It's kind of like a mini Kyogre, right? We do see this build here on the Wo-Chien. That's nice. Cool, cool stuff. Got Charizard, Dusknoir, and then a Raging Bolt in top 8. Anything else spicy in the top 16? Let's see, this Lost Box deck? Yeah, it's just Pikachu. Okay. All right. Nice, nice. Move on to the next tournament here. Won by Charizard once again. Charizard does good in Japan. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a strong deck. Another Charizard with a Bibarel and a Prime. And then we got a Roaring Moon deck here with very interesting inclusion. It's got 2 Judge and an Unfair Stamp and a Picnic Basket. Okay, that's cooking for sure. They got a Dialga Metang, so there's no Archaldon in this deck. It's just using the old Metang to build you up. I guess you have Precious Trolley, which can allow you to set up your board pretty easily, so you can get a bunch of Dialgas down and get Beldums down right away. It's got TM Evo, too, with Arven, so that's interesting. I guess I can really set up your board really quickly and get, like, a fast turn 2 Star Chronos. We got another Lost Tina with a Radiant Charizard in this build over playing Radiant Greninja. Interesting. It's got Devo in there, too. Huh. Yeah. No Greninja's interesting for sure. We got another Dragapult Dusknoir. And we got another Lugia here with the... Oh, there it is, that new Minccino. I'm telling you, man, these new cards, they're coming out. Not really. Another Charizard. Nothing else too crazy in the top 16 there. All right, move on to this Gardevoir tournament here. Let's see here. Gardevoir that won was playing the Unfair Stamp. Was able to beat Regidrago in the finals. This Regidrago list plays a Latias in the deck. Okay, wow. Huh. And Jamie Tower, and playing that Magma Basin. Now the Gardevoir here with the Secret Box. All right, here we go. A bit more of a Turbo Guardy list here. First time we've seen that in this video. The Raging Bolt. No Bravery Charm in that one. Kind of crazy. Another Ancient Box with the double Great Tuscan stuff. And then we got a Lost Box, a couple of them. We got Lost Box Moon. Okay, so kind of going back to the old Roy Moon build. Plays Canceling Clone, Counter Catcher, and has a Devo in the deck. Wow, really really trying to attack against Charizard there. Yeah, interesting. Huh. Cool. Then we got another Lost Box deck below it. We had Sablezard with a couple of extra attackers. You got Sablezard with a Iron Leaf and a Cobalion. I guess Cobalion lets your Cram do more damage to Moon. The Baby Moon specifically, you can one-shot it. And then you have the Iron Leaves with the Cobalion, which can one-shot a Charizard. I mean, with all the Charizard that we've been looking at so far, it's not a bad idea. And then we got another Miraidon with 2 Iono in the deck, so a little bit more hand disruption. And playing Earthen Vessel and a Gravity Mountain. There's no Area 0, actually, in this build. And it's trying to lean into Pikachu as an attacker with a double Magneton. I really just didn't even take all that in. Okay, wow. It's crazy. All right, let's see here. One by Charizard. Yeah, just usual Charizard stuff. We'll skip through here and just see if there's anything interesting. This Lost Box deck's playing Thorns. Okay. Yeah, nothing else too crazy here. It looks like a couple Sarah Ledge decks. What about this tournament here? What's this Gholdengo list look like? Gholdengo does run with a 1 of Spiritomb. Okay. Playing Full Metal Lab and Jammy Tower. No Pokestop, so a little bit more of a teched out Dengo list. Yo, we see a Zoroark V-Star in top 16. All right, Zoroark V-Star is kind of sick. It's not playing at the Area 0. It's playing the Gape Drop Bog still. Also playing Calamitous Snow Mountain. Has a Gravity Mountain in there, too, for Zoroark to hit higher numbers. I don't hate that idea, actually. And has Bibarel, so more of a classic build. And, you know, playing Monkey Dory, too. It's interesting. Didn't do bad in the tournament. Which is kind of cool. See what this tournament had. Gholdengo with the Togekiss. And, I mean, you can look at the Hydreigon deck here. Hydreigon with the 1-1 Bibarel. Nice. Some extra draw. Playing Bear, too, is interesting. All right, all right. See what this tournament had. See a Sarah Ledge Palkia made it to the finals. Nice. Playing Legacy Energy there. See a spec. Nothing else too crazy there. Okay. And what about this tournament here? What do we got? We got another Sarah Ledge Palkia. Not playing Legacy Energy. Playing Brilliant Blender for the A-spec of choice. Okay. We got Lugia here with the Klefki. And I don't hate the idea of Klefki either. Just slow the opponent down. We had a Shempao deck here with the Palkia V-Star in it. Okay. And also playing the Iron Hands. Okay. Bit of an old school Shempao list. That was that. So that was like the most recent results here from Japan. Again, they have a couple of new cards. We did see the Minccino. We saw a Blaziken Slacking deck. I'm sure by the next time we look at more decks from Japan, we'll probably see more of the Blaziken decks. I forget which tournament had the Blaziken deck in it. No, that was not that one. It was above it, I think, right? No? That was I just clicked on that. Okay, I'm trolling. Huh. Which one was it? Which one was it? Which one had the Blaziken? Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool. Blaziken's lacking. We might see more Blaziken in the future in Japan results. Maybe once more people kind of pick up on it. I think it like just came out, or people are just kind of figuring out what to do with it. So cool stuff. I mean, it's nice to see a couple of new cards here. Nothing too crazy. We saw a couple black belts. Saw the Minccino and Lugia, which probably the optimal Minccino, and then of course saw the new Blaziken here. Nothing too like crazy to shake up the format, obviously. I'm sure we'll see maybe, I don't even know if we'll see much of a shakeup with Prismatic Evolutions fully releasing eventually in Japan, but we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, there you go. Those are the results right now in Japan, what Japan is playing. Some interesting stuff we've seen in this video. Kind of more the same, right? You see Raging Bolt. We saw Charizard doing well. A lot of Gholdengo, a lot of Regidrago, a lot of Cloth, the usual stuff. But it is cool to see what Japan was cooking up. And they have a few new cards they were toying around with too, obviously, which is kind of cool. But I hope you enjoyed the video here on the second channel. If you did, leave a like. Once again, I'll leave a link to Liminals down below if you want to go check out any of the results for yourself. You can maybe build any of these decks and see what's going on. But yeah, that'll be for me. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you on another video here very soon on the second channel. Bye-bye.